Welcome back, Watchmen. Welcome to the Bestiary, my Watch's teaching series, where we learn valuable information that we can take with us on our journey through the charted lands. These videos will demonstrate knowledge that we can apply to the trading of any stocks, and not just DVLT. We begin the series with the flame golems, candle patterns that signify momentum shifts and other price action movements. The first one that we'll look at is the golem of eyes, the doji candle. This watcher exists in a landscape of absolute stillness where the titans have reached a stalemate. The golem of eyes stares into the void with unblinking intensity, its silence serving as the only warning of the coming storm. It marks the moment where the old direction has lost its momentum and dutifully awaits a new master. Alright, this one is December 1st. Let's zoom in here. You can see that this candle here is a perfect doji. It has an upper wick and a lower wick, and it closed just about in the same spot where it opened. Now when you see one of these, no matter what time frame you're looking on, you want to look to the next candle to verify which direction the movement's going to go. We've got a red candle here, and we got downward movement afterwards. Now we can move on to the hammer candle, the iron golem. When the darkness of a sell-off threatens to breach the final perimeter, the iron golem emerges from the depths. As the primary protector of the charted lands, it stands firm against downward pressure, its heavy base signaling that the titans have established a floor that will not be moved. It is the foundation upon which every future rally is built. Now this one is on March 9th. This one's a relatively new candle. Let's zoom in here. We can see this hammer candle right here we got just the other day. Notice that it has a long lower wick, and we got a good rejection, and price closed just about where it opened. Similar to the doji. It doesn't have to be, but we just want to see that long lower wick. That's the important part. We can see that price did not return to this level, signifying that there was a lot of buying pressure that moved us up from here. Anytime you see one of these, it's a safe bet that price is not going to return to it anytime soon. Well, not even necessarily anytime soon, but just not immediately. Now we can move on to number 3, the shooting star candle, the golem of failure. At the height of the surge, the golem of failure appears as a fallen construct, cast down from the very peak it tried to claim. It represents a violent rejection from the high ground, where the momentum was exhausted and the bear struck back with lethal precision. It stands as a grim warning that the ascent has ended, and the air at the top is too thin to breathe. This one is actually a fairly popular candle, infamous maybe I should use. It's going to be the candle from $4. See this long upper wick, and then we're closing red. That's going to signify that the upward momentum has been exhausted, and we're generally going to see downward movement after the fact. In this case, we saw a lot of downward movement, and we're still seeing it, unfortunately. But we all know that's soon to shift. But yeah, so anytime we see the shooting star, it's a safe bet that price is going to move down. The next golem is the golem of fury, the bullish engulfing candle. This is where we start the more complex candle patterns. This one is 2 candles. The golem of fury is unleashed to reclaim what was stolen. This aggressive construct does not merely advance, it devours the previous candle's losses in a single violent strike. Its presence signals that the bears have been overwhelmed, and the bulls are surging back into the territory with unstoppable intent. This one is October 1st. Yeah, here's a good one. There's two of them here right next to each other. We have 1 and 2. Notice that green candle completely engulfs the red candle before it and closes above. And the same thing. We have the red candle and the big green candle next that engulfs the candle before it. These signify strength in upward momentum, and generally you're going to see more upward movement after the fact. Here's another one right here, and we got more upward movement. Alright, and its counterpart is the next candle pattern, the Golem of Ruin, the bearish engulfing. The descent turns into a demolition as the Golem of Ruin advances to dismantle the foundations of the watch. Known as the Great Undoer, it moves with a singular purpose, to erase the progress of the previous candle in one crushing motion. It shatters the hopes of a potential rally and leaves the territory in a state of structural decay. This is the opposite, where we're going to see a big red candle that engulfs the green candle before it. So where is this one? It is here. This is a good one. This pattern right here. We have the big red candle that engulfs the green candle before it and closes lower, signifying strength in downward momentum. As you can see here, we did get a lot of downward movement after the fact. Here's another example. And I'm sure if we looked hard enough, we could find another one here pretty soon. So whenever we see those, we're pretty confident that downward momentum is going to continue. Alright, and now we're moving on to the 3 candle patterns. We'll start with the Morning Star, the Dawn Golem. As the initial fury subsides into a steady light, the Dawn Golem appears to confirm the end of the previous darkness. It is the bringer of light, a complex sentinel that marks the transition from a desperate defense to a hopeful new era. Its 3-part construction proves that the reversal is not a fluke, but a calculated shift in the atmosphere of the charted lands. Alright, for this one we're going to shift to the hourly. It was hard to find one of these on the daily chart. We'll actually move back. This one's way back in September. Move. We're not quite there yet. October, September 8th is the one I have marked. Here we go. It's a perfect morning star formation. We have a big red candle down and a small candle in the middle. It doesn't do much, and then a big green candle afterwards. Now, as we can see, the momentum did shift. Let's zoom out. We can see that momentum did shift afterwards, and it moved up. We got a lot of upward movement. Anytime you see one of these on whatever time frame it is, it's a safe bet that price will be moving upwards. Alright, and on to its counterpart, the Evening Star formation, the Golem of Darkness. Following the failure at the peak, the Golem of Darkness arrives as the Shadow Bringer to shroud the field. Its presence in the charted land signals that the bullish surge has been officially abandoned by the Titans. As the peak is left behind, this golem ensures that the light of the previous rally is extinguished, ushering in a season of descent. This one is also on the hourly, but it's not as far back. Let's see, January. I have it marked as January 6th. Yes, here we go. Here's another good example. The opposite of the Dawn Golem, we have a green candle up, and then a wick and indecision, and then a red candle down. Now, as we can see from that, we have... where'd it go? Okay. So after that, we can see that we did have a lot of downward movement. Anytime you see one of these, it's a safe bet that price will be moving downwards, which is exactly what happened. Now we have two more, which are not as common to see, but they are important, and they're good to know. Our eighth golem of the morning is the marching golems, the three white soldiers formation. The battle turns into a campaign as the marching golems take the field in tight, disciplined formation. This is an institutional force, displaying a relentless advance that systematically secures new territory for the Watch. There is no hesitation in their stride. They represent the collective will of the Titans to drive the price into higher reaches. This one is on a chart that I don't use very often, the 4-hour chart. And we can see it's actually right here. Let's do these right here. One, two, three soldiers marching in formation. I want to see three green candles that each close higher than the last. Alright, this is showing institutional strength, which is exactly what we had on this New Year's rally right here. And it signifies that upward momentum is not stopping anytime soon. It's not likely to stop anytime soon. Alright, and our final candle formation for the day is the opposite, the carrion golems, the three black crows formation. The story concludes with the scavengers of the charted lands, the carrion golems. They descend upon the fields of battle to feast on the corpses of bulls left behind. Their relentless downward flight confirms that the territory has been lost, and the cycle of the Watch must begin anew in search of a fresh floor. Alright, we can go back to the daily for this one, and we'll see right here is actually a good example. 1, 2, 3. We actually have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the way down. This is showing us that institutions are getting out, exiting their positions, which actually happens to be a thieving institution, BNY here, doing their selling. But, you know, that's all alleged, so we can't really say that for sure right now, even though we know what's going on. And that concludes the 9 basic candle formations and our first entry in the Bestiary. I will put a new poll in the community section, and we can vote on what we'll see next weekend. Before we go, we need to remember to smash the like button and ring the closing bell. And until the end of all things, the Night Watch stands forever.